getting set up for the Metro Richmond ARES Net. Gotta find me a shirt in case it gotta be on camera. I just installed an ICOM IC38A, which is a 1 1/4 meters or 220 band radio, monoband. Now I gotta have a new place for my hat. Message. There's a place for my hat right there. The net should start any moment now. I think I'm waiting on Gavin. No, I'm early. Look at that. What the heck? What the heckers? Anyways, been trying to get the audio out on that IC38A to work properly. And I think they're sticky pots, which I put in an earlier brief video. And if I set that volume in just the right place, I can hear what's being said. And most times it's not in the right place, so they have to be not lubricated but cleaned with deoxit. They need to be deoxidized. They don't have any Ow! Cleaning up my copper wire mess here, and they get me every time. And they're sharp. Anyways, let's see here. Put that back where I had it. I could definitely hear myself on the field comp system. K48RX. Might have a coaxial issue. Not really sure. So, while we're waiting on the net to start, I will quickly grab me a cup of coffee and be right back. I should be ready to go here. It won't be on that machine tonight because it's Thursday. We used the Rats machine UHF last night on that radio, but tonight we're going to use the Spectra. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Be right back. GAVIN.
November 1, Echo November, Charlie.
Oh, no, it's not.
October 3rd, 2024.
TJ.
My name is TJ. I'm tonight's net control operator. Once again, my call sign is N1ENC. If at any point during this net you need to relay emergency traffic, please use the word break. I'll hold the air for your traffic and will assist in any way Richmond ARES is part of the Amateur Radio Relay League and the Virginia Section Amateur Radio Emergency Service Program. This net meets weekly on Thursdays at 1900 on the KG4 MRA 145430 repeater. This net's focus is training and announcements for the amateur radio community with a spotlight on emergency communications. All participants are asked to follow standard net procedures that would be utilized during an active emergency net. There's no need to be an ARES member to participate, and all properly licensed operators who are within range of this repeater, regardless of location or affiliation, are invited and encouraged to participate in this net. This is N1ENC handling the Metro Richmond ARES Net. This net is directed, which means all stations must be acknowledged by net control prior to proceeding with comments or discussion. Part of this net is the discussion of the day, which is intended to be a way to learn more about amateur radio, emergency preparedness, and general safety. The topic for tonight is, have you listened to any of the amateur radio emergency communications ongoing in North Carolina? And if so, what are your thoughts? What are some practices they're using that we could potentially use in our area in the event of a disaster? Is there anything they could do better? I'll now proceed.
That's a mouthful.
Check-ins will be called in two groups. I'll begin by calling for mobile and portable stations, followed by all remaining stations. When you check in, please advise of your call sign phonetically, followed by your first name. I'll ask for your location and a signal report when you're called on for comments. If you're an ARES, Skywarn, or other emergency communications official, please advise when you check in. When checking in, please identify using the "this is" method, where you key the mic, say "this is," then unkey, allowing the repeater to drop. You'll hear a squelch tail, then key back up, providing your call sign. This allows you to hear if somebody else is transmitting at the same time you are, which reduces the likelihood of doubling. I'll now accept check-ins from mobile and portable stations. If you're a mobile or portable station, call now, beginning with your call sign phonetically, followed by your first name. Mobile and portable stations, go ahead.
This is Kilo Delta 6 Foxtrot Mike. Brian, Romeo Oscar November. This is November 2, Juliet Delta Hotel. This is Andre, former Skywarn Racing out of New Jersey.
This is Quebec 4, Romeo Alpha Mike. Will, Eastern Hanover, in and out. This is Little Oscar 4, Romeo Mike Victor, PJ, Skywarn Net, controller.
Whoa. We've upgraded.
This is Kilo 2, Mike Tango Bravo, Michael Mobile,
Ooh.
in and out.
I missed the call sign. I think I know who it is,
Alright,
though.
that control direct, Kilo Delta 6, Foxtrot Mike, Ron, Romeo, Oscar, November, N2, JDH, Andre, KQ4, RAM, Will, in and out, KO4, RV, PJ, K2, MTV, Michael. Any remaining mobile or portable stations wishing to check into the Metro Richmond ARES Net, please call now.
Here we go with the DTMF nonsense.
This is N1ENC with the Metro Richmond ARES Net. I will now accept check-ins from all remaining stations. If you wish to check into the net, please call now. Please advise of your call sign phonetically, followed by your first name. All remaining stations wishing to check in, please call now.
This is Kilo Bravo 2 Oscar Yankee India.
at least 2 dispatchers on the night.
Kilo Quebec 4, Mike Echo Foxtrot, Mark.
And several experienced NCS or NCOs.
This is November 4, Mike Delta Romeo, Mark.
1 NCS and a few more NCOs. 1 NCS per net, so. Oh.
Net controls directs KV2OYI, KA4JKL,
Mess things up.
KE4MEF, and 4MDR. Any other stations wishing to check into the Metro Richmond ARES Net, please advise now. This is
That figures.
Kilo 4 Echo X-Ray X-Ray K4E double X Don and Chester.
E-double-X. Net control, this is. William, Kilo 4, Alpha Romeo X-Ray. Why you gotta be special, William? Why you gotta be different? Because I can.
Alright, hearing no further, I copied K4EXX Dawn, K4ARX William. We will now proceed with comments. When you're called on for comments, please advise of your location, provide a received signal report, and your comments. We'll start at the top of the list with KD6FFM Ron. Again, the topic is, have you listened to any of the amateur radio communications ongoing in North Carolina? What are your thoughts, and what are some of the practices they're using we could potentially use in our area in the event of a disaster? Is there anything they could have done better? Ron, go ahead with your comments.
Got a crappy focus on this thing.
Sir, I am in Western Carolina. No, I didn't hear any of the transitions of North Carolina, but I kept up with it, with the news. And I need you to call signs phonetically and your hand up because I was on the wrong frequency by accident. Oh.
Ha ha ha.
Okay. My call sign is November 1 Echo November Charlie N1 ENC. My name is TJ Tango Julia.
Wow, Ron, are you actually logging the net? I'm proud of you.
I was so happy with one frequency, but now I haven't listened to any radio transmissions, but I've been keeping up with the news, and I have some friends that do live in the Johnson County area of North Carolina. I figured the news river probably got pretty flooded too.
Yeah, it's a pretty intense situation going on down there, unfortunately. But thank you for your comments, Ron. We will go ahead and move on down the list to November 2 Juliet Delta Hotel. Andre, go ahead with your comments, sir.
This is into GDH, Andre. Lakeside. I have not been following the traffic with North Carolina, but I'm interested in finding out more and any ideas that we use in New Jersey as well.
All right, thank you, sir, and thanks for checking into the net. We'll go ahead and move on. KQ4RAM Will was in and out. Houston Hanover. Go ahead and move on to KO4RMB. DJ, go ahead with your comments.
Yeah, roger that. Appreciate you holding the net, TJ. Haven't followed it too much, but I have been seeing some of the news stories that you guys have been posting on the Discord about it. And it seems like they're doing a great thing down there, and they helped out a lot of folks. But heard you run the net, so I wanted to jump in and say congrats. You've done great over there, doing an awesome job. Appreciate you stepping in and helping out with this. And keep up the great work. And I hope everybody has a great rest of the week and a great weekend. This is Kilo Oscar 4, Romeo Mike Victor, and Northern Henrico back to net control.
Butt kisser, teacher's pet, best friend.
Yeah, thank you, PJ. I'm enjoying
Little fun, a lot like work, right?
Kilo Bravo 2 Oscar Yankee India. The name is Rob Romeo Oscar Bravo and Verina, and I'll read you loud and clear. I have been listening to it on and off throughout the days at work and found it to be very interesting, a good way to showcase amateur radio in a real-life MCOM situation. I think the quality of the net control operators was top-notch. The only concern as a listener I had, it felt like anytime someone called in with a load of supplies or cargo ready to deploy and drop off, and they would ask the NCO where to go, they were provided no answers. So I don't know if that's a coordination with actual local officials and local authorities for coordination for that. But I heard that several times where folks literally had a truck full of water and chainsaws and batteries and asked, where do I go? And they said they don't know. So, and this was several days after the event. So it wasn't as if there was, while the storm was actively, dropping off folks. So that's my observations, but great work by those guys. KV2 OYI back to that.
Yeah, thank you, and my apologies about the call sign. I had recorded it correctly. I just guess I kind of fingered the phonetics, but yeah, I'd imagine that's probably a red tape kind of thing where they don't have any quote-unquote official information of where supplies are needed, which is unfortunate, but it is, I guess, what is going on. Again, thank you for those comments. We'll move on to KA4JKL. Gavin, go ahead with your comments.
I reached loud and clear in Lakeside, Rankin County. As for the topic, I would say that, I haven't really listened to the amateur communications, but I've tuned in a little bit to on the public safety live streams. They're doing a fine job out there. I would say that maybe some of them need to brush up on their NIMs. It doesn't seem that they understand that, during an incident like this, you need to use plain English, and they're still using 10 codes out there. And also there seems to be some miscommunication between the UCC of Rutherford and Henderson County. They're not talking, communicating clearly. One example is some of their coordinated rescue efforts out towards Lake Shore and Fairview. They had an instance where their communication officers were mixing up coordinates given by the rescue helicopter, and there didn't seem to be any clear direction of communication. So it seemed like a lot of people were on the ball, but for the most part, when I listened to, the firefighters were all on point. They were doing a great job out there, doing what they're hired for. That's really all I've got. So back to N1 TNC. Thanks for running the net. TJ doing a great job. That's great.
Yeah, thanks, Gavin. I appreciate it. Yeah, the 10 codes are starting to become a thing of the past, which some people love and some people hate. Right in the middle, I see where they are useful, and I also see where they cause massive confusion when interoperability sets in, especially on the law enforcement side. So, appreciate those comments. Moving on, we'll go down to KQ4MEF. Mark, go ahead with your comments.
Good evening, TJ. Thanks for running the net. Good evening, everyone. I've been listening in on it when I can. Obviously, back through notes and things like that. Everything was handwritten, so it took him a little while to go back and find information.
That's okay.
Only thing I could suggest for us locally is maybe the local radio clubs and on Slack and Discord, we can post out there frequency information, locally that we would use in the event if something did happen. And if there is not already, maybe I think monthly is too often, a yearly mock disaster or something that we can, work on the radio, practice that. I know we do the income test and that type of thing, but, maybe some type of mock disaster, people that were interested could help out with that. With that, that's all I got. So I will turn it back over to you, TJ. This is KQ4 MEF.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. I actually, I agree. It'd be a good opportunity to get a group of folks together who are interested in helping, and then develop. You can't prepare for every last disaster that has the potential to occur, but at least having a group of people with at least a little bit of experience on the training side with dealing with something like that would be fantastic. It would be a massive asset on the side of life and health communications, not necessarily mission critical, but just kind of public service related communications. That would be a huge resource for a locality if a disaster were to strike in the local area. So I appreciate those comments. We will go ahead and move on to November 4, Mike Delta Romeo. Mark, go ahead with your comments.
This is Mark, and Powhatan, you are loud and clear. Had a little bit of an opportunity on Sunday afternoon listening to the Mount Mitchell repeater, and the thing that stuck out to me is we need to do more training in areas around health and welfare traffic. We spend a lot of time focusing on supporting our emergency management and Red Cross partners and things like shelters, but don't spend as much time thinking through handling with health and welfare traffic. And then just for the last commenter, a lot of the local areas groups do at least annual simulated emergency tests. Powhatan is actually doing one not this weekend, but next weekend. So if you have interest in participating in that, if you want to send an email to my call sign at iCloud.com, I can get you some additional information. And for MDR ARES Net.
Thank you, Mark. Yeah, that's awesome. I'll send you an email maybe just to get the information and post it on the Discord and pass it along, because that's a fantastic training opportunity for folks who want to get involved. So I appreciate those comments. Moving next to Dawn, K4ESX in Chester. Go ahead with your comments.
Good evening, and good evening to everybody on the net. I haven't talked or listened to or tried to talk to anybody in this flood area. My radio, without the help of a repeater, I can only go about 25 miles at the most. But I did see my hometown on the news today or yesterday, Galax and Breeze, Virginia. They had some blood damage. I've got a brother in Galax and a sister in Breeze, and they're doing just fine. They weren't affected by it, thank goodness. But we keep the rest of the people in our thoughts and hope for the best for them. That'll about do it for me. 73 to everybody on the net. Back to net.
Thank you, Dawn. And yeah, I'm glad to hear that family members are doing all right and we're minimally affected by everything. So that's good news. All right, moving on to William, K4ARX.
That's me.
Go ahead with your comments.
Net Control, this is William, K4ARX, on the wrong side of the tracks, just east of downtown Richmond here in Chaco Valley. You are loud and clear in the repeater. I can hear most everybody just fine. I have been participating via the internet, listening to what's going on over there in North Carolina. I use the Scanner Radio app that's supported by Broadcastify, and it happened to pop up the first day. That's where my interest fell. I also stumbled across a group of content providers on YouTube outside of the usual ones that I watch. They deal with something called Streamlabs. I think their usual interest is missing or abducted children, some of the technology involved. They're also interested in amateur radio. So at the time, I've been able to elmer through a little bit, explain what was going on, helping them figure out and understand what was going on during the net and how things are done. Nerdy, who runs the channel, is interested more in amateur radio and GMRS now, and his reluctant but supportive wife is allowing this to happen. He's already have an interest in the broad term of police scanners, and now he's venturing off into other things and studying and whatnot, studying loosely. Might take a test. Some of these guys might get interested and take the test eventually, and they'll get more involved. Probably use it as more than just a tool for looking for kids, but the usual routine traveling and talking amongst themselves. They understand more about CB radio than they used to and whatnot. So it's been a lot of fun, and we're having a blast. We're still keeping up with it. Back to you, Net Control K4ARX.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's good to hear. Get some more people licensed and on the air and become assets for the local community. So that's fantastic. Thank you for those comments. Before we continue, I'd like to remind everybody of other areas or emergency communications nets that are held during the week in the region. On Mondays at 1900, the Powhatan ARES Net is held on the 147315 repeater, which has a positive offset and a PL of 74.4. On Mondays, the Goochland County Emergency Communications Net is held on the 14727 repeater, which has positive offset and a PL of 2035. On Tuesday nights, the Dinwiddie County ARES Net meets at 1900 on the 14739 repeater. That repeater has positive offset and a PL of 74.4. On Tuesdays, the Chesterfield ARES Net meets at 2100 on the 14736 repeater, has a positive offset and no PL tone. You can also check into the Chesterfield County ARES WinLink Net. You can find more information via their website, chesterfieldares.us. And finally, on Wednesdays at 2000, the Tri-Cities Emergency Communications Net is held on the 14739 repeater, has a positive offset and a PL of 74.4. All right, this is the final call for check-ins to the Metro Richmond ARES Net. This is Helene Net Control. Any remaining stations needing to check in, please identify now.
Uh-oh. We're moving.
And then hold the last station. You were very scratchy. I think I caught MEF. Please repeat your call sign.
Not quite enough power.
All right, we'll try one more time. Still wasn't able to copy. All right, if you can try and bump up your power, we will come back to you here in a little bit. Any further stations wishing to check in, please call now.
I guess that's it.
All right, nothing heard. The last station that had the weak signal, we'll give you one more try. You just your call sign and name if possible. All right, nothing heard. Tonight looks like we had 11 check-ins, 12 including myself.
Right.
At this time, I'll go ahead and proceed to terminate the net. I'd like to thank the stations that participated and the stations that stood by for the net. I'd also like to thank the Metropolitan Repeater Association for the use of this repeater. Metro Richmond ARES Net is now closed, and this repeater is returned to amateur radio operation. This is N1ENC, and the net is clear at 1926.
Y'all got a copy?
Yes, Mr. Pirate.
Last station, go ahead and provide your call time.
NM4NM.
It is the Pirate.
NM4NM, you are a pirate station. You are not authorized to transmit on amateur radio frequencies unless you are licensed. Please cease transmitting on this repeater until you are licensed.
It's all good. Where are we at? 144, 830. There it is. All right. Sorry, I knew better. Nice job, TJ. K4 ARS.
Thank you, William.
I just set up the other radio for the input, and I interfered with myself.
With a radio check. And 2JDH, you are loud and clear to the repeater.
Just set up my mobile radio in the house. All right, you guys have a good evening. And 2JDH is clear.
Thanks, sir. You do the same. N1ENC.
Into JDH, K4 ARX.
And 2JDH, go ahead.
Hey, it's good to hear you on the repeater here. I don't know if you spoke before. If you've been in the area very long, welcome to the MRA. You have sort of a ticking noise in there with your radio. You said you have it set up as a base type station. You want a power supply or battery power? Are you running a charger to charge a battery?
Are you talking now or previously? Because I was mobile earlier.
Yes, right now. You got a fast little tick or click way down in the noise there. I hear you perfectly, but it's just noticeable. It goes so I didn't know if you were charging or you had something else in line with your radio.
Nothing in mind. I got the fan on. This is a Kenwood radio, so it might be something wrong with the fan or with the setup. I have to look at it. I know the fan is on right now.
Okay, that's fine. Don't normally like to point things out like that, but if it ever is, you know it's present. It may be the fan, it may not. What kind of Kenwood are you using?
DMV 71 Alpha.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Like I said, didn't want to point it out, but I did anyways, just in case you needed to know if you had any of the problems. That's present. It might show up later on the receive side, so you have a kind of a concept of what's going on.
Yeah, I have my HT and I can actually hear it. It's probably the fan because it's ticking the same amount of times as the fan is actually spinning, so it's probably either the fan or the fuse. I have to double check that. I did hear it on my HT.
All right, that's good news. You know where to start. Have a good understanding. Perfect. All right. Can I help with anything else today?
Not right now. I gotta finish setting everything up. When I got all my radios here, so I gotta check everything out. I'm definitely gonna have to look at everything. I didn't have any issues with my HF radio, so I'm gonna check this one. But thank you again. The name here is.
Okay. Got everything but the name. I already know you're Andre. Somebody kind of keyed up, I guess, or some local interference. But cool. And happy to help out when I can. I'll be around if you need any more help than anybody else. 7-3s to you, Andre. We'll catch you later. Into JDH from K4ARX.
again, thank you. Be clear.
You're welcome. I forgot. It belongs down there on the other hook. All right.
M1ENC, KA4JKL.
Is that one ENT good?
I think they did me a favor, because I lost the text group for the NCOs. I'm not going to be able to be NCO for the 24th of this month. Matter of fact, I may not be able to do NCO anymore. Would you mind reaching out to Randy, because I didn't save his contact yet, and giving him my contact info, or if you asking him to text me?
You're stopping already?
Yeah, no problem. I'll shoot him a message here in a minute and let him know. That's fine.
You were doing so well, dispatch.
Matt, I appreciate it. Yeah, unfortunately, the new job, my permanent assignment is coming up, so I'll be on the evening shift from 4 p.m. to midnight, so that will officially remove me from the NCO lineup. So, it's fun while it lasted. I appreciate you. K4JKL clear.
Yeah, of course, no problem. And it's, I guess, what's it called? Anyway, I can't remember. But I guess good things because you got the new job and everything. So, yeah. N1 ENC, still monitoring.
That's a real shame. But as an operator, a radio op, professionally, he has to go to work, so I do understand. I've done the second and third shift before and missed out on a ton of amateur radio in my careers, and lots of fun. I had the opportunity to work mobile and stay on the job and on amateur radio in the evenings, so that was kind of fun. And it also happened to be that I knew a guy on the same business channel that we were using, the same repeater, that also happened to be a local amateur operator, and we got a little bit of what do you call it? Hand smacking. They smack the back of your hand for doing things. They thought it was a no-no, but we were already licensed for both companies on the business channel, so communicating between two businesses wasn't a big deal, and I was learning then anyhow. Thought it was a good experience. That was happened to be UHF channels, and I didn't have a whole lot of experience with that anyways. And I was using a similar Motorola Radius type radio. It was only a 2-channel radio back then, and I guess the way it was set up was channel 1 was the repeater pair and tone, and channel 2 was the same repeater output and probably tone, because we could hear each other, and all you have to do is push the monitor key, I guess, and that would deactivate the PL tone, or private line, what Motorola called, and it wouldn't matter anyways. So kind of fun. That job didn't last too long, maybe a year and a half. Using my own car, still lots of fun because I had more radios than the commercial radio in there, and people to talk to. So, and it was also another good way to share the aspects of amateur radio outside of just regular business. So lots of fun, lots of experience. Thanks for joining us tonight. My name's William, call sign K4ARX, and you've been watching American Radio X-Ray.